Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, and some excellent news if you're a fan of UK content or of the Birmingham Cross City line in Train Sim Worlds, because we've got the article this afternoon which is telling us that this Class 170 pack for the Birmingham Cross City route is releasing on the 29th of July. That is next Tuesday. So we're going to have a look through the article as we normally do. We're going to look at the pricing as well, because the pricing is available, but we do have some more details and we have some quite nice screenshots actually. The liveries are looking good, especially this Cross City one. We're going to get into it. We've talked about this a little bit in the past in the roadmap updates that we've done, but the details were, quite sketchy. Let's go through what we've got today though, because it's quite exciting. This return to the rails of Birmingham and tackle the Lickey Incline in diesel traction. 2 new versions of the 170 are coming on the 29th of July, courtesy of Rivet Games. We'll go through the changes as well to the ScotRail version that we've already got in the game. We'll go through that. The DMU Class 170 has been a recognisable part of the UK regional and longer distance services for the past 25 years and continues to be a staple for connecting towns and cities that do not feature fully electrified railways. Across multiple variants and fleet shuffles, they've taken on many roles and paint schemes over the past few decades. And the Class 170 was originally part of Rivet Games' 5 Circle line, and I jumped into that over the weekend because I'd not driven the 170 for a long time, and I spent a couple of hours on it, really enjoyed it, just getting ready for this really. The 5 Circle one was the ScotRail Class 170/4. That's the iconic turbo. The Iconic Turbo now stars in a new role, I can't even read, filling out and enhancing the Cross City line, including both the 170/5 and 170/6 subclasses, with detail changes such as original headlights, updated cabs and interiors. The Class 170 is now presented in the West Midlands Railway livery, which we've already got in the 323, you will know, on this route. Also, as well, the far-reaching cross-country livery, which is a very, very recognisable livery, isn't it? There it is now on this next sort of sunset type screenshot, which is great. This marks the arrival of the cross-country licence in Train Sim Worlds, along with the second train to feature the orange West Midlands Railway branding, as we discussed, which was the 323. Previously, cross-country featured in Train Simulator Classic content. Indeed it does. It does. The passenger interiors and the cabs differ per train operating company, or TOC as it's known for short. Cross-country, for example, features first class accommodation, but the West Midlands Railway version of the 170 doesn't. Also, note the remnants of the London Midland with the unmistakable green moquette. That's quite nice. There is a little video within this article as well, which is showing you about the exterior modelling of the 170. That's something that's been produced by Rivet Games, as you can see. As I always do, I'll put a link to this article down in today's description so that you can come to the article and you can play that video for yourself and have a look around there. Unlike the 5 Circle Line 170, the West Midlands and cross-country trains do not include the auto-announce feature. Due to this being a bespoke setup that Rivet Games have developed, this implementation would have required fundamental changes to the way the route works, which is something they weren't able to support for this add-on. That's a shame, isn't it? That is a shame, because that auto-announce feature, when I was playing it over the weekend, I'd forgotten about that, and it's nice as you're coming into a station, you can just hear it announced behind you without having to do anything. It's quite a nice touch. I kind of get why they've done it, but it means that this 170 doesn't quite operate the same way as the one we've got for the 5 Circle. So I understand, but it's slightly disappointing. What about the timetable and the gameplay? So a new timetable will be available to players of the Birmingham Cross City route, featuring a much wider variety of traffic from a selection of other add-ons for players that own them. There'll also be new scenarios to play, which is always welcome. The West Midlands 170 will have 150 services, of which 58 are playable, and the Cross Country 170 will have 180 services, and out of those 31 will be playable. This happens quite a lot. Just in case you don't buy the DLC, but you've got Birmingham Cross City, your timetable will carry on regardless. And what we quite often see is a different timetable or a replication of the timetable with new services in for additional DLCs that come out for certain routes. We've seen it with Cargo Line, haven't we? If you think about the Preston to Carlisle West Coast Main Line, the recent military cargo pack, there was an additional timetable for that, just in case you don't own that and you've only got the original Preston Carlisle. So there's a common theme there. There's a bit of an interview with Tyler from Rivet Games coming up then, and there's a bit of a deep dive into the timetable itself, and he goes on to explain the timetable was a passion project. He was just a modder making timetables a year ago in the public editor, and he wanted some update to the Birmingham Cross City. He actually went to Rivet Games with the proposal for the 170, and they said yeah. So he basically got the job. So I don't know if he works. Oh no, he is employed at Rivet Games. He is. So that's not bad. He got himself a job out of it as well. Good man. So that's quite nice. That's one player's passion project. So normally, with these things, if a project is coming from somebody who's a big fan of Train Sim World to begin with, usually that means that it is a passion project, which means there's a bit more gone into it. They design it the way that they would like to see it if they were, a paying customer. So I think this one could be pretty good, to be honest. I haven't seen it yet. There is a preview stream coming up, which we'll talk about when we get right to the end, because there is a link to that. So the base timetable, it was a copy of the existing timetable, which is what we suspected, and then the additional 170 services were added in. The 323 services in the new timetable mostly unchanged, apart from some signalling changes at Birmingham New Street. Freight, rail tour, railhead treatment train layers are all unchanged. This timetable includes the 170 in both train operating company liveries, and it's in 2-car 170/5 and 3-car 170/6 variants. You'll also be able to drive 4-car trains composed of a pair of 2-car units, and Tyler challenges us to find the 2 trains longer than 4 cars hidden in the timetable. No doubt some of you will find that straight away. I know you like a good challenge. The majority of the playable 170 services are between Bromsgrove and Birmingham New Street. Cross-country services operate out of the playable area between Cardiff and Nottingham, and West Midlands Railway runs between Birmingham and Hereford, Great Malvern and Worcester. This busy trunk line will keep you on your toes, responding to yellow and red signals, keep to time, and you'll often overtake a stop-in Class 323 on the 4-track section between Kings Norton and Longbridge. Eagle-eyed players may spot real cross-country services don't stop at Bromsgrove. In TSW they do, just for you. Otherwise there'd be AI-only services playable on the short stretch between Birmingham, New Street and University. So there's a bit of license given to that, so it gives you a little bit more content to play. The West Midlands Railway 170s are also playable between Aston and Birmingham New Street on services running out of the map to Walsall, Wolverhampton or Shrewsbury. And another reason to pick the May 2019 timetable as the base was the short-lived use of 170 units on this service. Rounding out the 170 services are a couple of empty coaching stop moves, giving you some rare mileage. But that's not all. AI services from both operators fill out Birmingham New Street. Oh, this is what we've wanted, the traffic in New Street. Headed beyond the routes confines for Shrewsbury, Nottingham, Leicester and Stansted Airport. Now layers because this is Birmingham New Street, so we should get a few layers. You'll get playable and AI content from the layers. They had to write their own platform visualization tool to cram all the traffic into New Street. Now I'm rubbing my hands together thinking, ooh, show us. We got the 350, which comes in from the West Coast Main Line South, Euston to Milton Keynes. That's playable between Birmingham New Street and Aston on the Walsall and Wolverhampton services, as well as some other service patterns at peak hours. Get a little peek there into New Street. Look at the diesel fumes coming out of the top of that 170 there. That's really nice. The 350 and the Avanti West Coast 390 Pendo both fill out New Street as AI. You'll also spot them at the low-level platforms at Lichfield, Trent Valley, and the Pendolino has a single empty coaching stop move playable between Aston and Birmingham New Street. Nice, you know I like my Pendo services, so I'm happy with that. The last visitor to Birmingham New Street is the Transport for Wales Class 150 from Cardiff City Network on services between Birmingham and destinations in Wales. So if you picked up the Cardiff City Network, you're actually getting a decent value out of that route now, aren't you? Because it's already appeared in various other places, including quite recently the Manchester Airport commuter. So here it is again. It's now suddenly going to appear on the Birmingham Cross City, which is great. You may also see some AI freight trains through Aston as well. So that's good. Busy, busy, busy for once. And then there's other things to see. Tyler gives us a couple of personal highlights from the timetable. Driving between Birmingham and Bromsgrove is more engaging than ever. No matter your choice of traction, there's a lot of adverse signals and the fast overtakes are fun. Certainly contenders for the awesome service mode runs thread on the TSW forum. So that's where you can go and suggest particular services that you've run that you know people might be interested in. You can go train spotting on foot. Birmingham New Street should be good, as we mentioned, because there's lots going on there now. And yeah, there's a preview stream, and that is tomorrow night, which is let me look for the date. That is the 24th of July. Oh, there it is. It's right there in front of me. Of course it is. But what about the pricing? So, West Midlands Railway Cross Country BR 170 DMU will release on the 29th of July. And this is on Gen 8 and 9. That's important. Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Epic Games Store and Steam. And it is £12.99 UK, €15.99 Euros and $16.99. So there you go. There's a little bit underneath in the article about the Cross City route, but you know, a lot of us have been playing that for there's the Central one, that's quite nice. A lot of us have been playing the Birmingham Cross City for some time, so we're already quite familiar with that. So what do you think? It's coming up on the 29th. That means I'm hoping that on Monday the 28th, in our regular Monday live stream, I'm hoping that I've got early access to this and we can run that as part of next week's live stream. We'll do that live and you can have a look at it with me before it releases, as we always tend to do. But yeah, it is coming. It's always quite exciting when a route gets some new life breathed into it once again. So thank you for joining me on this short update. Do check out the link in the description to go straight to the article. Give me a little thumbs up, take it easy, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.